Welcome back to Light Talk, where everyday people can share their own unique spiritual journey stories with a safe and supportive community. If you have a story you'd like to share, give me an email at lighttalk423@gmail.com. And while you're at it, click on that there like, share, and subscribe buttons down below. Well, I am going to welcome back for part two of a story with Addie Halkin and I, and we are going to tell you the second part of our crazy story we've got going. All right, Addie, go ahead and tell a little bit about yourself, and then we'll continue with our story.
Excellent. Thank you for having me back. I'm so
Oh,
happy to be here.
I
Um,
am thrilled to have you back.
yeah, me too. So I'm a spiritual coach, and I have a podcast called Blowing Solutions Wide Open. But the bigger, more important story today has to do with Dana and I and our friendship that we've struck up within the last year. Just a quick recap of the last video. Um, One of the things that I had discovered with Dana's energy is that she did have some kind of energy attachment. Um, when I went to talk to her about it, she had already, like 2 days prior, she had already cleared it. So that was a pretty positive experience. It's lovely when, two people are on the same page like that. So there was no issues there. And, we had had a conversation about what I was experiencing around her. And then, it went well. We discovered she'd cleared it. And I'll say, though, that as I walked away from her that day, um, I can't lie, there was something unsettled in me still around Dana's energy. I was hoping that I was wrong. I was hoping it was just like a little PTSD around dealing with an energy attachment, but I thought I'll just see how this goes. I'll wait it out. I'll double check with my spirit team and see if, she really has cleared it. And every time I double check to see, with my team, has she cleared this? It was an absolute yes. I mean, I never ever got like a um, anything but a yes on that. And so, um, even though that was true, I still was struggling around something with Dana's energy. Um, and I really didn't understand what it was. And it was negative again. It was negative thoughts. It was very bizarre, to be honest with you. Dana is the first person that I've ever met where when I'm in her presence, when I'm talking to her, I have nothing but it's like solid. It's solid energy. There's no negative feelings. There's no angst. There's nothing. There's nothing wrong. And then the minute I would separate from her, all of a sudden I'd be going through what was like the best I could describe is like spiritual warfare. Um, there was like some kind of aspect to her energy that I was still fighting. Not the same way as like when there was an energy attached to her, but it was it was I don't know how to describe it other than there were very unpleasant feelings between us. There was a feeling of eh, dislike going both directions. There was me feeling like, she's manipulative, just all kinds of weird stuff that I was not really understanding. And so this went on for a while, and then Dana she's a really good connector. She connects people really well, and she had organized a group um, of us, like a few women. And so we met eventually again in this group. And I show up to the group after all this like spiritual warfare stuff I'm going through with some aspect of her energy. I show up to this group, and yet again, I have nothing but loving feelings towards her, almost like even like protective feelings about Dana. Um, and I had a great time. So I leave the group. I'm feeling really good. I went and ran an errand, and then as I'm driving home from that errand, I have my hands on the steering wheel, and I'm like, ah, it's back again. These negative feelings and thoughts, they're back again. And I just thought, I need to check myself in. I'm losing it. Like what is going on here? So I get home. I'm pretty frustrated at this point because when I have these kind of feelings come in, it's the same as if like the actual person was in the room. Like, so this fighting that I have going on with her energy is like equivalent to kind of a nasty person that I'm dealing with in the room with me. So I sit down and I really kind of lay it out to my spirit team. And I said, you have to help me understand this. I don't get it. Um, and I hear kind of what sounded like a little bit of like a Akashic record drop come in, meaning like a little bit of information came in where I heard them say, you and Dana have had another lifetime together and you had these kind of similar feelings. And I remember thinking, well, that's a little clarity, but that doesn't really help me. Like, who cares? We had another lifetime together. Like, I'm not much of a past person. I'd make a terrible past life regressionist. Like, it wasn't really the answer that I was looking for. So, couple more days of this goes by, and um I know not to doubt my feelings, but I also cannot get any kind of clarity on it. So I sit down again after a couple of days and I said, you guys, you have to help me. This is me talking to my spirit team. I said, I really don't understand and I need some help with this. I don't know what to do with this. And I kind of calmly sink into it and I hear them say, we tried to get this information through to you a couple times and you didn't receive it. And so I felt into that answer and I felt the resonance of it. It's almost like I could remember there was a couple times that it vaguely came in and I must have pushed it away. And I realized after I heard what it was, I realized it was because I had a judgment about this information that came in. So I said, okay, I am ready to accept this. Whatever it is, I'll accept it. But please just tell me what this is about. And so as I sat there, I heard them say, what if she came from a lower dimension? And at first I wanted to be like, no, 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 that's not what it is. Because in my little human mind, I judged that as being bad or lesser than. I also judged it as she's going to hate me if I tell her that. I had just some negative judgments about that. And then I said, no, wait, I told you I'd accept this. So I sat there and I said, okay, I accept that. And the minute that I did that, all this information poured in, and it was about Dana. Um, and then I felt all this negative energy drop out of the bottom of my body. And it was incredible what came in. They basically showed me that she did, in fact, come from a lower dimension to be here. And what she did was she took, I don't always get details on this stuff. In fact, I don't think Spirit often gives a lot of details, but they showed me that she took the portion of her energy field that she could get up into the third dimension and she poured it into a body. And then she left what she couldn't get up in whatever dimension she was existing in. I suspect it was 2D, but I didn't get that detail. So, and I also didn't get the detail of how much of her energy. I have a sense that it was about half of it, but um, this, keep in mind, I never talk like this. I've never thought like this. So this was all really, really new to me. And it was unbelievable to hear it. Um, I was like actually kind of excited. I felt very relieved because now I had some clarity. Um, but there was more to come because I went to bed that night feeling a lot better. And I still had a judgment left though. And so about all of this. And so I went to bed and I woke up the next morning and I felt like a brand new person around this. I saw this whole situation in like a white, pinkish, loving energy light. Um, I had like a new perspective. I knew I all of a sudden did not see like lower dimension versus higher dimension. I saw no difference. I saw it all as very neutral. It's all equal. I really saw it from like a source perspective, and this was out without even having like a thought. Um, and as I had this new perspective, which I think they worked on me in my sleep, I was able to receive a bunch more information about this. They said to me that Dana needs to be commended for what she did. I get I get emotional a little bit about this, but they said that what she did from coming from a lower dimension to here is the equivalent of those of us who have come from higher dimensions to this dimension to assist in the ascension process. That what she did was really powerful. What she did is super helpful. They told me that I believe they told me that she cut like a new blueprint on how to get out of the lower dimensions. That it's like the thing about the lower dimensions is that they're the hardest to get out of because there's so much oppression and suppression and darkness. There's a lot of darkness in those. And they said that she just did a really creative thing that worked really well because we have lower dimensional beings on this planet. But what they usually do is they just take their 2D or their 1D self and they stick themselves into like, a 3D body. And so they come here and they usually end up torturing everyone. If you see like a lot of our leaders and people that are running the show on this planet, you're looking at a lot of 2D, 1D, dimensional people. But she didn't do that. She took what was willing to be truly authentic in a 3D body, and she put that amount of energy into it, left the rest of it uh, in the lower dimension. And this is what I had been fighting with. I had been picking up on that aspect of her that's still in um, the lower dimensions. Is not an experience I've ever had until now, but it was just so incredible to see something so unique. I started to have like a conversation with Source after that because I do believe that they were trying to tell me that not many people are addressing the lower dimensions and they want us to start working with them more because they need the most help. And Source does not see lower dimensional beings as less than, it's all just energy and it's all just source. So there's no better or lesser than. And this is where, I feel like I get a little confused is because I channeled all this, but I don't fully know what to do with it. I do feel like they were encouraging definitely Dana, possibly me, I'm not sure yet, to really work with these lower dimensional beings and, get them maybe doing what she did because it's more effective than just, taking your lower dimensional self up into a higher dimensional body because you're really, the chances of you kind of not being kind to people are pretty high if you're
Pretty
not even
high. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
And that's the whole reason why I have no problem with her you know, in her 3D, well, I think she's ascended beyond that, but in her current body is because, you know, um, she's not torturing anybody. There's no like lower dimensional energy in her in what you're looking at right here. I do believe there's a little bit of her energy left in that lower dimension, and I think that can probably be easily um, brought up. I think that, if she does a little bit of soul retrieval, she can get all of that up here, especially as she's like grown in this life. You've gotten like strong and stable. So it's probably going to be really easy for you to bring up all your energy into this life in this body. But it just blew my mind. I've never seen anything like it. It's like you cut like a blueprint to very quickly get someone to go from, let's say, for example, 2-dimensional to 5-dimensional in a very short period of time. And I think Source wants that out there more. I think they want more of us helping out with the lower dimensions. And it's not always very popular because, lower dimensions, they're hard to deal with. They really are. But they're still connected to all of us. They're still souls. We've all been crappy at some time or another. So,
No one's
nothing,
perfect. We're all
no,
human.
no, and nothing, the thing is nothing is unforgiven. Um,
Yeah.
I have heard, I'm sure you've heard this in religions and stuff where they talk about eternal hell Or I've even heard this with like, more esoteric type people talking about how, um, souls that go to lower dimensions never come out. Or,
Mhm.
I heard one guy say, oh, God created some dark souls and some light souls, and the dark souls never go light. And I'm sorry, I just don't buy any of that. Like, I
No,
don't. I feel like Source is always calling us home. It's kind of like, they're the center of the sun and we're all the rays. And so we can't ever truly disconnect from that light um,
right.
fully. And so
Yeah.
I feel like, let's get rid of that whole eternal hell thing and realize that everybody can come home. And
Yeah.
so that's
Everybody. Yeah.
yeah.
God loves everybody and or source loves everybody and it doesn't matter who they are. I mean, he's got a love for them and like you say, we're all energy, so it's all one thing. So
Right.
it doesn't really mean anything whether good or bad. Like you're saying, it's we're all on the same level. The only difference I see is we are on different stages of life. That's about it. I mean, we have the 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D, and so forth. And that's just our learning. I mean, we have kids in school, they have to start in kindergarten or preschool, and then you graduate college. I mean, those are all different steps, and that's what we are in this world is we're all in just a different step, different
Yeah.
class, different grade level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And, there's a chance that many of us have been in 1D or 3D or 2D at one point in time, who
And we
knows?
can and we could be in both at the same time.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can be in 2D and be in 5D at the same time. I mean, we can bounce back and forth so often. So, yeah, so we do have bad moments or not so good moments, and we have awesome moments. It
Well,
all depends.
I think that was part of what they were saying to me is the strategy that you used can take someone from 2D to 5D, for example, pretty quickly. And that's kind of maybe from what I sense, that's what they're wanting is they're wanting us to develop more efficient systems for pulling out of those lower dimensions, um, you know, because all the lower dimension means is that you're blocking the light more. So,
Right.
um, yeah, so this was, very eye-opening to me. Um, the thing that I still question is like what how it to me it feels like a calling for you especially, but possibly both of us on on working with the lower dimensions. But I'm not clear on how to do that. I know that there are people that do things like cross people over or remove entities and demons and things like that. But I don't really know what else people are doing to assist lower dimensions. It sounded to me like not enough. Like Source really feels like we've been kind of ignoring that a little bit. Um, and so I did have a thought the other day, Dana, about like, have you ever heard those stories where like parents, they have a child and that child comes out and for whatever reason that child seems very demonic and the parents don't really understand why? Um, Maybe that's part of like who you work with. I mean, maybe that child just came out of a lower dimension. I don't know. I don't really
I don't
know.
know. Yeah, we're in the same level on that one. I'm not sure what to do. We have talked about some ideas, but I don't want to say anything just yet because I don't know where we're going to go with it. But we do have some ideas of what I can do once I get my skill sets raised and be more confident about being a medium or, however I need to go to do what we're thinking. And it's a lot of work for me and I'm up for it. I am up for it. As long as I can get out there and get some education so I can start doing this kind of work because like we've talked about, it's going to be mind blowing. if I can get going on this, because it'll be, oh, can't even say. I mean,
Well, I could tell you
it's
what
going
I
to be
heard.
amazing.
Um, when I was channeling this, I heard untapped market is what I heard. Um,
Mhm.
there's tons of people who have come from higher dimensions who are assisting and they're getting lots of credit, but nobody's talking about lower dimensions for the most part. And so, Source seemed to be telling me that this is an untapped market, um, which I really like. I personally this is just my own issue, but I can't stand things that are overdone or overly popular. And so to hear something so unique like this, that seems so important is really exciting. So I feel like you have some kind of big market. We just, I have to say, for me, I'm asking anyone listening if you have any ideas around how people, especially Dana, breaks out and starts working with the lower dimensions. I do think soul retrieval for you would be a good thing because then you just collect all your energy and then you have all your power here. But I feel like that's probably pretty easy. But um, you know, I don't know. Like
Yeah,
you had some good ideas,
yeah,
honestly. But
yeah. We have some good ideas, and those are places we can start. And I think we're getting the audience a little curious about what we're talking about, but but someday it might come out. And but right now it's Earth needs a lot of help. And with all of this going on, getting myself moving and everything, it's it's going to be wonderful. And this Earth is going to change. Earth is
yeah,
going to change. And with my previous guest on the show, Courtney Thomas, with what he's doing and with what we're talking of, this world is going to it's going to be mind blowing of what we're going to be doing. So
yeah.
yeah,
Do,
hopefully
do,
very soon we can have this moving.
well, I think for me, my question was like, what's the best way that you find these souls that are um, kind of needing what you can offer? Or, and you had, I don't know if you mind me sharing, like some of the ideas that you had um, around.
Let's wait on let's
Okay,
wait on that.
okay, that's fine, no problem. But you had some pretty good ideas around maybe
Yeah.
and then my other question was like, are you working with actual human beings all the time, or are you actually doing some soul help with those who are not in a body that are kind of locked in the lower dimensions? I don't know. I don't know how it looks.
I'm not sure how we're gonna have to see. My path is still in the making. So I mean, I'm never gonna outgrow my learning curve.
Oh,
So
none of us.
none of us is gonna do that. So we're gonna have just fun just going forth and seeing where this is gonna bring us. And I'm excited to see where it's gonna bring us because there's so much to do
Yeah,
with Earth.
yeah,
So
and
much.
especially in the lower dimensions.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, if any of you guys
Yeah.
have ideas watching,
Yeah.
you know, I hope I'm not being too confusing with this information, but if any of you have ideas around things that can be done or maybe things you're doing, we'd love to hear about it.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Anybody out there that's working with the lower dimensions like that, and um, that would be great to hear from you to see what you're doing and how you're doing it, and maybe we can collaborate with something on that because that would be awesome. I would love to help you out if you're doing this. So please, contact me and let's figure this out.
Yeah,
Let's raise this vibration of Earth.
Earth and yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that there was because I've not ever channeled something like this. There was there have been times where I've wanted to doubt it because it's such eccentric information for me. Like um, I didn't even really have much of a like a. I think part of why it was hard is I didn't have anything in this lifetime that I could refer to around this because it was just so new. But I will say that I went from spiritual warfare, fighting like crazy with Dana's energy field. And then the minute all of this was channeled, it's all gone. Like there's no issues anymore. It's gone. And I guess that's kind of my indicator that it's, what I am saying is true, what I saw is true. The only thing that I will say, Dana, is I ever so often I get like a little tiny window peek into that lower dimensional aspect that's still a little bit caught there, but it doesn't like follow me around anymore. It just I get a
Oh,
little
good.
peek, I get a little peek into it. So I think that you're going to unhinge that. I think you're going to get the whole of you here. Um, you know, I think at some point in our evolution, we don't have to hang out in the whole spectrum of dimensions anymore. Like at some point, when you're done with a certain level, you're just done. And so that's probably
Yeah.
what's going to go on with you is that there won't be any
Yeah.
more 2D for you, or maybe not even
Yeah.
3D.
It's
So
so the part that came up in the first place that's with me now is it was like, I'm done. I'm moving on. I'm moving up. And now the second half is like, oh, well, that looks pretty cool. I'm going to join my other half.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
So,
I know you
yeah,
are. And maybe you'll find a way to do it yourself without like a soul retrieval type person. I don't really know. I have no experience in this, but
yeah. I still
um
need to check into maybe some soul retrieval meditations and see how that goes. I been meaning to do that, but I haven't done it yet. So,
busy.
yeah, yeah, busy, very busy. So yeah, I need to get in and get some soul retrieval going and see if that can help. And then if you stop seeing this guy that's asking you, come on, talk to Dan, get her moving, come on, then maybe you won't be seeing those little peaks of them anymore.
Yeah, it's just little it is it's
Yeah.
it's just your energy. I don't know if it's even like a I don't really associate a male or a female to it. It's just a piece of your energy.
This
Um,
energy, like we were saying, it's just energy.
yeah, yeah,
Just energy.
yeah, yeah. So it's so
Yeah.
interesting. Like, for me, I was like, I'm losing it because I've never had this experience with someone. The closest I could relate to it is, if you're like, talking to someone, I'm sure you've had this experience before, and you realize that the words they're saying is not matching, um, the energy coming out of them.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't even that with you because when I'm talking to you in your 3D body, there's no fakeness like that. There's no like separation like that. So it was just a whole different kind of separation that I couldn't quite understand. So I'm
Yeah. And
glad.
this was all new to me too. Everything that you've been saying, everything that we've talked about is all completely new to me. And but I'm very excited that it came out like that, that you were able to tell me and that we were able to, talk it all through. And now I have a path on my journey that I
Yeah.
can help retrieve and bring Earth higher up on the um, energy level. Yeah.
Yeah, if anything, it gives you a clarity, like a direction now. I think you'd be phenomenal at working with the lower dimensions, and it takes a special person to do that, because it takes a real neutrality. It takes a lot of unconditional love because they're hard to deal with.
Mhm.
Um, you know, it takes protection. Like
Oh, yeah.
anyone that learns how to do this does need quite a bit of protection. So it's very, very needed, and I think that that's why it came through is because, you know, our guides are like, "Come on, guys, we need you to we need you to get into that." So,
Get moving, get moving. And yes, and I've got myself moving on different levels. It's going to start happening. I think next year is going to be a fantastic year. It's going to bring a whole new side of me that is just anxious to get out. So I'm excited for next year. with this and with all the other um, things I've got in my head of expanding. So I'm excited. I'm
Oh yeah.
excited.
Yes, you should be. I think it's going to be a great year.
It's going to be an awesome year. I mean, it's going to just rock my world all the way around. And hopefully I will rock Earth too, because
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And
That's all I can
help
say.
help a lot of people who need it the most.
Yep. Yep.
So,
And I'm excited to do that because I am like a teacher. I've got a teacher inside me, and that's what I do. I love to teach and educate people from what I know. So
yeah. Yeah, you seem like you could be somebody unaffected by these kind of um energies that are difficult. I feel like you could be like, I've been there, you know, you got nothing on me. You're like, because you do have to be a little tough and have a little bit of a sense of humor with it because they're not the floaty, easy ones.
no, no, but it'll be a challenge. I'm sure it's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be so rewarding. And to see somebody to transition like that is just
Yeah.
going to, mm,
Yeah,
mm.
and you did
I,
it.
this stuff just makes me so speechless because I'm just like, oh, it's just so,
Oh, I love your enthusiasm.
it's just
Fantastic.
crazy. I
It
just,
it is really exciting. I mean,
yes,
you did something that was so unique and so effective. It's almost like what you did is you made it easier for those souls to now, it's like you put a staircase that made it easier for them to get out.
you make it
Because
sound like I'm just like a natural at this.
I don't know, I just know what I channeled and it was like I've never heard of anything like this. Um
Yeah,
and it's really making
that's good.
me look at, I'm kind of like a warrior type spirit, so I'm wondering if I should be doing this as well. I that's the jury's out on that one, but um, I know that for me, I'm not real happy until like the root is uprooted on something,
Right.
floating around and helping the higher dimensions, that's great, but what about those who really need it? I don't know.
Yeah. And it's funny because I've always been a person that a degree that I would have gone into, I could have
Mhm.
gone into was psychology because I've always wanted to know how and why people act the way they do. And so this is really bringing up that the root of that, why I've always wanted to know why someone in the lower dimension is doing this kind of stuff, or why do they treat people the way they do, and why do they take action like they do? I've always had that curiosity. So yeah, it's playing a part. That's part of my path, and that is really starting to going to come to life
Hmm.
because it resonates.
Yeah, it
It
does.
completely resonates with what this is, and it's got me on a whole nother journey. But the same journey, it's the same path, but it's
It's almost like more clear now.
yeah, because I have that yeah. So the path is being cleared for me. That's what
Yes.
I'm going to say. That's how I'm going to say. The path is being cleared, and now I have a direction.
Yeah.
I have um, a map now of where I'm going. It's not just a map where you can just go anywhere.
Yeah.
Now there's a map. This is where you're going.
Right.
Excited, excited,
Yeah.
so excited.
Yeah. Me too.
Well, I want
Fantastic.
to thank you, Addie, for so much for bringing this up to me. When, I know you had a difficult time there for a while to talk to me, but I am so excited that you did. And I would love that we keep in touch with what's going on and all of that because this is going to rock. This is
Yeah.
going to rock.
Yeah,
So,
honestly, for sure. And it may be that there's a group of us that come together to do this too. So anybody watching that has an interest in helping assist lower dimensional beings, reach out, you know.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
We don't exactly know how to proceed forward, so we're looking for
All new.
suggestions. Yeah, it's all new. It's all,
It's all new for
yeah.
all of us. Oh, well, we're going to end it at that. And I am going to say thank you once again for being a great friend and being the wonderful person and understanding person and just the wonderful up, upraising of my energy when I'm with you. You are a fabulous person. And
Thank you.
don't forget to watch her show. She's awesome. She's awesome. She's doing great. She's doing a fantastic job. But yeah, so if anyone out there has any ideas about how to bring lower dimension up, please contact me or even Addie. I'll leave her information down below so you can contact her too. And because that might
Or
be something for her show too.
yeah, and if you guys have stories around this subject, uh come on Light Talk with Dana, or you can come on Blowing Solutions Wide Open. We love all these stories too. So
Yeah,
yeah.
we've got a lot of the same. So if you have any stories, email me at lighttalk423@gmail.com. And while you're at it, don't forget to click on those like, share, and subscribe buttons down below. And we will talk with you all next time. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye everybody.